In today's video, I wanted to show you a couple of tools and features that you can use as a Verkada admin in order to carry on your investigation, and also highlight a few of the features that have been released in the previous months. And we're gonna start by logging into a command, and let's say for the sake of argument, something happened at the front door. Probably by now, if you are familiar with command, you know that you'd either go back inside the history tab here, break it down into more smaller chunks, let's say 1 hour increments, and that shows you the history of the camera itself. And you can take each clip and scroll backwards and forwards, also being aided by the clear indication in the UI if persons or vehicles have been spotted. Now, this is quite a traditional way of doing things, and ever since day one, Verkada introduced this concept of a motion search that allows you to go inside here, draw an area of interest, and then filter based on regular motion, people, or vehicles. Maybe about half a year ago, we introduced this concept of tracklets because the new generation cameras are based on very modern umbrella chipsets that allow us to not only detect people or vehicles on the camera itself, but also provide the vector of movement. So now, for example, on this particular clip, the person is getting out. Funny, it looks like they're getting in based on the thumbnail, but you'll see as I'm playing the clip that they are getting out. And why this is important is that you might actually see motion in that particular bounding box, but you'll see that for a lot of these, the persons are actually inside and they are not getting out. And as previously discussed in a very recent video, you now will have the ability to specify how many people you are expecting to be in that motion box at any particular time. You can have a filter that specifies the amount of time, and on top of that, you can also draw a line in within command with a direction of movement to further narrow down these results. And if you want to check this out, I'm going to post a video here that I suggest you go watch. On top of that, you can also overlay multiple streams and play them side by side to give you an understanding of exactly what happened at that particular time. The clips, by the way, are synchronized to start with. So now you can go left and right and carry on your investigation. Traditionally, we've done this with 4 clips, but now we scale them to up to 12 based on customer feedback that sometimes they are not aware exactly whereabouts in their environment a particular incident has happened. So think about a package being lost in a warehouse. You might not actually be able to identify straight on exactly the camera that's looking at the time where that parcel has been lost. And if you're interested to track a particular person in your environment, you can use these screens, but you can also use the people tab. So if you have advanced analytics turned on, this is where we'd send hyper zooms into the cloud for further processing. Will actually allow you to search by face, taking those face characteristics and querying all the cameras in your environment so you know exactly where a particular person has been. One of the nice features that has been released recently is also that of the shortcuts, and that gives you the ability to plot multiple cameras in the frame. So you'll see here as I go from motion search grid into shortcuts and I hover with my mouse over the footage, you see these symbols appear, and these are cameras that will overlook a certain area. So let's say you're interested in what's happening behind that corner. All you need to do is click on that camera and then you have that particular view. And that's very, very helpful because, again, instead of going back to the camera list, trying to understand which camera is overlooking that particular angle, you'll be able to do it in one single click. Initially, we launched this as a live-only feature. However, I'm excited to report that shortcuts are now also available in historical play. So looking back at the front entrance camera, let's say I'm looking for a particular incident, you'll actually be able to follow people using this. So, oh, something has happened maybe before that person exited. I can now jump in within the lobby and look at what was happening then. Let's say this is an incident that I want to save because I actually found the right piece of footage. All I need to do is click on create archive, because remember, the Verkada cameras record on themselves. We have cameras from 30 all the way to 365 days, but there will be a point in which this particular incident will be deleted in order to free up the space for new footage. The archives themselves sit in AWS inside S3, so using all the redundancy and security features that Amazon provides to all S3 customers. And you, as a Verkada admin, can do as many archives as you want and keep them for as long as you see fit. So I can create an archive, I can drop my notes, I can add certain tags as well. Maybe that can be an incident number, for example. And within this, you can also choose to blur faces. One of the great additions to this blurring face feature is that now you have the ability to selectively blur certain faces from the archive. So let's go inside a new camera. Let's do a line crossing search because I'm looking for, let's say, at least two people that were walking up the stairs. And when I click archive here, blur faces, and I'm able to select the actual faces that will be blurred. So what will happen now is that the cloud will fetch that particular clip, will save one archive with the faces unblurred, and then will run the clip through Amazon Web Services and blur the 2 out of the 3 faces that we selected. And afterwards, you get a notification. Again, as an admin, depending on the archive size and the upload speed of that particular site, it might take a few seconds, it might take a few minutes, you don't really know. The good part is that you can actually exit the window, and then Verkada will send you an email to notify you that the archive is ready. And when that archive is complete, you'll be able to click archives, review the particular event, and then from here either download it as an MP4 file or share it. And this is where Incident Manager is really great, because not only it brings all the archives together and plays them as an individual clip, but it also shows all the notes. So this can be left by yourself or also other admins that manage the particular incident. And then you'll be able to create a cohesive story that then can either be downloaded or shared in the same easy manner via email or SMS. Hopefully, this whistle stop tour on the Verkada features show you how easy it is for you not only to search particular pieces of footage, but also how to find the right one and then gather all the necessary information whenever you're doing any sort of incident management.